There's a Jezebel in the schoolhouse. Hi, guys. Welcome to my channel. I'm Tanya Marie, and I'm here to empower women with valuable information and tools to grow and radiate minds. And so, women wear many hats, and it's time to get equipped with knowledge to move forward in your journey. And so, guys, we perish for a lack of knowledge. A lack of knowledge. In my last video, basically we did a reset and rise, and so that's the theme for January for me is reset and rise. And so it's a new year, and it's time to reflect on areas in our life that needs to align, needs to change. And in my last video we talked about reflection in different areas of life, and I provided a free whole life check-in worksheet. And so, guys, if you haven't downloaded it yet, please download it below. It's free. It's free. And what is on there is 8 areas, 8 different areas that you can just basically check off and reflect on. Areas in regards to finances, health, relationships. Just reflect on those and see what areas that you would like to change, or areas that you would like to create new goals in. And so once you reflect on areas, you can, try to create goals and then create an action plan to make sure that those goals are met. And so please download that below. It's free for you guys. And if it's something that you would like to do more of, such as create all goals, different goals in those different areas, I do have the guided goal journal. And this journal helps you on your journey to creating goals for this year. And it's a great also reflection piece as well. And it's just really to aid you in creating goals and reflecting on what was hard for you, what was easy for you, and things that you need to change. And so please, if that's something that you're interested in doing, please go ahead and go to the link below, and that will take you directly to that journal. And so, women, we wear many hats, right? And many of us have businesses or we have a career, and you always seem to run into a Jezebel in your environment. I know I have. I have ran into so many Jezebels in my environment for my jobs, workplaces, careers. I've ran into Jezebels in organizations. I was on a school board. And so different organizations that I have ran across a Jezebel. And so I know some of you are like, okay, what is a Jezebel, Tanya? And so I'm going to read you the definition that I put in my book regarding what a Jezebel is. And so I did write, there's a Jezebel in the schoolhouse. I wrote this reflection piece based on, what I was going through at a time in my life that was just very hard, though. I was around individuals that was very controlling, and I was just very stressed at work, and I didn't know what to do. And there was no one that I could really talk with except for family. And you couldn't trust anyone. And I just felt so alone at times. And I wrote this so that it can help encourage others that are in the same place to know that, hey, there are other people that go through that. You're not alone. And here are some strategies to help you while you're in that season of your life, because it will not last forever. You're not going to be in that season forever. I know it seems like forever, but you're in that season for a little while, but you have to be smart and strategic with how you conquer the assignment that you're on during that season. And so a Jezebel is, or a bully is someone that is mean to an individual on a consistent basis for no reason. They desire power and will do whatever it takes to obtain power in their favor. Oftentimes, the Jezebel that many individuals reference is the biblical character that was the queen of Israel, who controlled and manipulated her husband Ahab, king of Israel, and tried to kill the prophets of God. Jezebels try to invoke fear and intimidation on their prey by belittling you in front of others, trying to make you look incompetent, trying to set you up for failure by creating a schedule of work that is not feasible, and the list can go on. We have all encountered a Jezebel on our journey in life. And so that was a little excerpt from my book, Jezebel in the Schoolhouse. There's a Jezebel in the Schoolhouse. And so, any of you guys that are going through that in this season, please use that as a tool to help encourage you during this journey. Because no one should have to be abused, or humiliated or disrespected. But along the ways, we meet individuals that like to do that. And when you see individuals like that, that means that there's something missing in them. There's something that's going on with them. And so a lot of times people label those type of individuals as narcissists, someone that's a narcissist. And so in this DSM, or the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, this book is what is used in the mental health world with counselors that diagnose mental disorders. And so they do have that listed in here. Narcissistic personality disorder is how it's listed in here. And so I'm going to take a look and see. I'm going to read to you exactly what it says, and so that you're aware of this trait, of anyone that has this. And so it looks like in regards to this particular disorder, it's basically it's prevalent in young adults, it looks like. And of those diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder, 50 to 75% are male. And there are 9 different diagnostic criteria that they have listed. And if anyone sees 5, if you're able to check off 5 of these, then you're basically, kind of labeled as a narcissistic person. And so let's see here. Number 1, has a grandiose sense of self-importance, exaggerates achievements and talents, expects to be recognized as superior without achievements. 2 is preoccupied with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. 3, believes that he or she is special and unique and can only be understood by or should associate with other special or high status people or institutions. 4, requires excessive admiration. 5, has a sense of entitlement. So they have unreasonable expectations of especially favorable treatment or automatic compliance with his or her expectations. 6, is interpersonally exploitive. So they take advantage of others to achieve his or her own ends. And so you see that a lot on jobs. You see that a lot with some people taking advantage of other people for no reason at all, just for personal gain, for power, for status. 7, lacks empathy, is unwilling to recognize or identify with the feelings and needs of others. 8, is often envious of others or believes that others are envious of him or her. 9, shows arrogant, haughty behaviors or attitudes. And so, y'all, I've worked at many different areas in education. And when you're working in education, you're working with a lot of stakeholders. There's a lot of people that you're working with: children, parents, teachers, administration. There are so many different stakeholders, specialists that you're working with. And a lot of times there's some people that, will try to um, you know, compare you or try to compete with you. And it's like, when I go to work, I don't go to work to compete with anyone. I don't go to work to compare myself to anyone. I go to work to do what I need to do and to make sure that I complete my task and my assignment that day and then come home. And so you have people that's at work that's trying to compete with you, or they're jealous of you, for no reason at all. And a lot of times it's because they want power. And so a lot of times people are envious of you, or or competes with you because they want some type of power. They want others to think highly of them. They want to be seen in a great light. And so they will do whatever it takes to step on other people. And so if that means that they have your name in their mouths every minute of the day, speaking negatively about you, then so be it. And so I've had individuals that I worked with that always had my name in their mouth, talking bad about me to, leaders. Every time, they had something to say about me, it was negative. There was nothing positive at all. And, it's very stressful when you are an educator. You work more than 40 hours a week and you have to do a lot. There's a lot that's on your plate. And so, you don't have time to compete with people. You don't have time to, compare yourself with other people. You don't have time to try to, sway people's opinion about someone else. That's childish. That's a lot. And so I've seen that so much. And it gets to the point where people will try to destroy your career. They will destroy who you are. They will try to destroy your livelihood. They will just try to destroy your reputation, only because they want power. They want power. They want power, and they will do anything to make sure that they have that power. And so some people will go great lengths thinking that they're doing nothing at all. They will go through great lengths on purpose, just so that they can get that compliment, or they can get that award, or they can get that a position. And so I have seen it so many times, but you have to be strategic in how you deal with someone like that. You don't sit up there and just confront that individual head on. Okay. You have to make sure that you have a plan in place, and you have to make sure that you see patterns. And so one of the ways, one of the strategies that I wrote in my book, there's a Jezebel in the Schoolhouse. One of the strategies is to document. You need to make sure that you document so that you can see if there's any type of pattern that is taking place. If there is something that's taking place, every day at a certain time or in a certain environment, what is the date? What is the time? What is the area in the schoolhouse? Is it emails on emails? Is it phone calls? Or is it, in a certain room? What are you seeing that is unjust? And so I do have, the free, Jezebel Injustice, worksheet here for you to utilize this free tool, and it's listed below. And this is to help you document times, days where, you experience injustice, where, you're experiencing basically abuse, disrespect. And so it's for you to keep track so that you can document and see if there's a pattern. Because sometimes, we may feel that someone is just being mean to us here and there. But then after a while, you start noticing that there's a pattern. And so it is very wise to start documenting, early on, when you're seeing that someone is, just being mean for no reason at all, or they're trying to get someone to be on their side and try to paint you in a bad picture so that everybody is on their side so they can, gain power and influence that way. Start documenting so that you can have, information, so you can have information and basically truth. The truth will set us free. And so with that information, with that document, you're able to see the patterns and be able to see if somebody is trying to um, pick on you unjustly. And so I think that's very wise still, instead of jumping to conclusions. And also, a lot of times when things need to be reported, before you go report anything, you want to make sure that you have your information. You want to be able to have your facts so that when you do report, you can have something to show that, oh, you're not just, saying this just to be saying this, but this is what happened. This is the date, this is the time, this is the place, and these are the details of what happened, so that so people can believe you and not think that you're just making something up, or that you're just frustrated in that moment. And so you have to be wise when you are dealing with a Jezebel. A Jezebel, they want power, and they will do anything to stop you from your assignment. And so whatever assignment that God has you on in this season, you don't need to be stopped by a Jezebel. You have to be wise and make sure that you learn and utilize the tools and strategies available to you, and not get caught up in that web. And so, like I said before, I have gone through a lot. I've worked at many different hostile environments, and no, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. And at the schoolhouse, it's not fun. There's so many people that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, and so much work that you have to do, so much duties that you have to do, that you're not thinking about trying to um, uh, be the most popular person there is. But there is people that want to, um, you know, climb the career ladder, and will do anything that they could to climb that ladder. And if that means throwing somebody up under the bus to make them look better, or for them to grab hold of a certain position that they want, that you have, they're going to do that. And so you have to be very wise with how you handle it, so that it doesn't backfire on you. And so in my book, there's a Jezebel in the Schoolhouse. I have different strategies for you to utilize when dealing with someone, or environments that are controlling or hostile. And so I wrote that book as a reflection of what I experienced. And hopefully my experience will kind of help you if you're going through that same thing. And I went from one job to another job experiencing that. And that was very hard. That was very hard for me to, go from one job, and you see it there, and then you go to another job, you're excited about the new job, you feel like you're free, from that experience. But then to go through it even more so, because it's directed at me. And so that was very hard to be new, and to see it, the first week, I stepped foot on the campus, you can feel it. You can feel it. And especially when you're on a team with individuals, you're working together, and it's very hard to trust your team if there's people that are trying to, that are envious of you, or that they're trying to compare themselves or compete with you. You can't be a team then. Okay. All trust is, erased then. And so I just want to make sure that you guys are wise, because a lot of times women, especially women, I would say, go through this. You go through this. And a lot of times people take advantage of you, and you have to be wise with what to do, so that no one tries to destroy you, because it can be very hard. And if you approach it the wrong way, someone can try to destroy your career, your finances, your health, and it's not worth all of that. And so I want to make sure that you guys are wise in this season in regards to that. I know for many educators, we are at the halfway point of the school year, and it's time to start making some decisions. And so if you're going through this at your job right now, it's time to create some goals and put an action plan in place, so that can know, what you need to be doing before the end of the school year. Are you going to stay and file a grievance, or are you going to look elsewhere, and try to look for, a position in another environment, a whole nother environment? And so you got to decide on those things. And so that's why you need to reflect on areas, different areas in your life, reflect on those, see what you would like to change, create that goal, and create an action plan of what you need to do. And if it's leaving in that position, then you need to start, seeing what places, researching different places that you would like to apply at, different school district, different positions, and see what the requirements are. Start getting your resumes together and references and start preparing. And so I would say that this is a time to start preparing. It's not a time just to sit idly and just continue to go through the motions. You need to put that in place. And so if you're feeling like there's a lot of injustice taking place at your workplace, you need to make sure that you put something in place and be wise. And that doesn't mean, staying where you're at, just because it's a great position. Your mental health is more than just a paycheck. And so you need to look at your health. And so that's something that you need to reflect on also. How is a hostile environment affecting your health? And so, guys, I hope this helped you today. Please click on the links below for the free worksheets. We have the whole life check-in worksheet, and then also the injustice, the Jezebel free worksheet, also to help track and document what's going on in your life. And if there's goals that you need to create, please check out my guided goal journal below. And so until next time, guys, peace out. See ya.